Welcome to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix.
Where the fuck happened? Is our screen glitching out? are we being invaded by the YS6?
The Matrix is
I swear to God, I can't handle them right now. Damn it, Agent Smith, get the fuck out of here. Welcome, folks, to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number, I forgot to look it up, 203?
204.
4. I knew it.
Right.
I knew I was off.
204.
I was off.
Yep.
204. Okay. Welcome to 204. Yeah. I am, as always, Rob, and joining me today, as always, is my co-host, Josh.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Woo.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in
Josh Murray.
I don't know what... Okay. I love that you do it, but I don't know if it bugs me that you've never even fucking watched him.
I've checked out a couple of... honestly, you know what? It don't even matter. His fucking song is catchy.
It is. It really is. It's so fucking good.
Just that part. That's the only part I know, but really, that's the only part you need to know.
There's rumors that he's going to appear at NXT Heatwave.
There is a distinct possibility that he will be appearing at NXT Heatwave, giving some things that I have found out in a modding group that I had showed you, shared with you something.
Why don't you tell me these things? You know I don't care about spoilers.
Okay, so apparently there is like 6 people altogether that are looking at that we are looking at potentially showing up in the WWE.
Oh, like from TNA?
Let me get you I'll get it here just.
Well, before you tell me the names, if it's definitely from TNA, I want to see if I can pick them out.
Okay. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 of them are girls.
Interesting. Okay. So it's 5 names total.
5 names total, and they are...
Wait. Don't tell me the names.
All rumored to either have been on NXT or have come to NXT. Or, I mean, will be appearing on NXT.
Okay. So, Jordan Grace.
Not on the list, but I assume so.
Okay, so I guess that's because she's already been there.
Probably.
Okay. Huh. Masha Slamovich?
No, but you do have the nationality, right?
Ooh, see, there's the problem. When it comes to the women's roster, I'm forgetting a lot of names.
Yeah. So, do you know who Tatum Paxley is?
Yes.
Tatum Paxley is one of them that is coming, or part of this rumor that I heard today, or last night.
Wait.
Tatum Paxley, no, it was today. Tatum Paxley and Joe Hendry are the guys, and then the female.
Wait, hang on. Pause for a sec. Josh, pause for a sec.
Yeah.
Tatum Paxley is on NXT.
Oh, okay. Then that must be part of the ones that are rumored to be leaving NXT then. Also,
Okay, because she appeared on TNA like last week.
Okay, Tatum Paxley, Wendy Chu, Kiana James is already gone, and JC Jane is already gone. But the ones that are rumored to show up, we've got Jasmine Nix, Carmen Petrovic, Lexus King, and Tatum Paxley, and Joe Hendry.
Okay, but Lexus King and okay, what is this list exactly?
People that are either supposed to be showing up in NXT roster shakeups, basically.
Oh, okay.
Joe Hendry is supposed to be coming to NXT, and there's like 3 names in that list that I don't recognize, but the other 2 may be leaving NXT, and there's no word on whether or not it's a call-up.
Your mic slowly disappeared out of existence. It was like you were just walking away as you were speaking, and it was getting quieter and more muffled.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it works now. That was the weirdest thing. Okay, so I'm like super fucking confused about this list in general. Okay, so this is just gonna be, it's not, yeah, it's Jasmine Nix. I don't believe, yeah, Jasmine Nix. It looks like she's on NXT.
All right, then it's people that are leaving NXT, and Joe Hendry apparently is rumored to either be showing up, or I don't know. I don't know where his contract stands, but I know he's an Impact wrestler, TNA wrestler.
Yeah,
I just don't know like how long he has there.
I think, excuse me, I could be wrong, but I think he has at least another year.
Well,
if he's even contracted, I don't know. He might just be wrestling there.
here's to continued crossovers until he can make an appearance on the Big Show.
Hell yeah, I hope so. Because like, so when you told me that there was a list of wrestlers that were going to show up at NXT, I got excited. I'm like, okay, fucking Moose is finally going to show up. Because after Jordan Moose, yeah, he's the current TNA champion.
Oh, okay.
He's a big motherfucker. He was an old football player, like a lot of big wrestlers are. And he's just a beast. He's a force, and he's fucking fantastic. I like Moose. But when Jordan Grace first appeared on NXT, I want to say it was during that, and maybe it was after the Royal Rumble appearance. Moose texted her, and he was like, "What, you're not going to tell me that you're going over there? Like, you're supposed to take me with you." And she was saying, like, I wanted to tell you, but only like 3 people knew, and I wasn't supposed to tell anybody.
It's a secret, man.
Yeah.
You idiot.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool to see Moose show up. I would love, like, that would be a dream match for me, Moose versus Bobby Lashley.
Damn.
Yeah.
He is a big guy then, eh?
Yeah. You gotta look up a fucking picture of Moose. Let me send one to you.
Excuse me.
No. Moose, wrestler. He's a massive mofo right now. He's 40 years old? Holy shit. I didn't know that. Oh, yeah. Wow. He joined the NFL in 2006, it looks like. Played for 3 teams.
When they're football players, unless they get kicked out really quick, they usually come to wrestling when they do later on in life.
Yeah.
Mid-30s or older.
Yeah, there's a picture of him. I sent it in our private chat.
I mean, that's an impressive physical specimen, but there's something about that pose that says
the pose
he's doing everything in his power not to let that fart out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
He's a big mamma jamma, and he's good. He's in really good shape. It's more than just being big.
Yeah.
He's big and shredded,
Mm-hmm.
where Bobby Lashley is mostly just muscle bulk. So that would be a hell of a fight to see if Lashley could take the ass whooping this guy's ready to hand out.
Exactly. I think it would be a heck of a match. Another person I want to see show up is Josh Alexander, but I just personally love him. And that would be another dream match for me is Josh Alexander versus Chad Gable, but we'll have to see. He's a longtime Canadian professional wrestler, amateur wrestling background. Also wears what the fuck are they called? Singlet.
Fair enough. You want Joe Hendry, Josh Alexander, and Dolph Ziggler to be in the WWE game, right?
Yeah, but as Nick Nemeth. I don't want very specific. I don't want Dolph Ziggler. I want the wanted man, Nick Nemeth.
All right. Well, getting funky new characters into that game is something I like to do, so I will work on that for you.
Right on.
Then we will stream it, but we will stream it without music.
Yes.
So.
We don't want to get freaking copyright stricken again.
So it's impossible to. It's not impossible, but it's pointless to share with you my kick-ass awesome entrances because they don't have any music.
Exactly.
Not in creator save mode. Not in creator safe mode.
Nope.
All right. Well, it is episode 204, and I don't know about you, but the only news that I've got is next week there's more books.
I have something that Brandon threw across our desk earlier today. I don't know if you saw it.
I have not really been in Discord too much other than to argue with you about whiskey.
Which, for the record, I wasn't disputing that when you saying I am whiskey is a reference to you having a mixture of all these different nationalities. But even just like if you have no fucking context and you just hear someone shout out, I am whiskey, you're like, oh God, that guy drank a lot of whiskey.
Yeah, you know what? You know what, Rob? I think you might be right.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it sounds like a true alcoholic.
Yeah.
What's in your bloodstream? Whiskey.
And so I've decided that if I ever do get together with Isaiah, who will know undoubtedly as a brown person, and just for the shits and giggles of it, yell out, "What do you mean, you people?" I have decided that I will instantly reply, "See, that's what I mean." He's gonna piss himself. He's gonna think that's so funny.
Just one last thing on the topic of whiskey. My dad, because when I was growing up, we'd watch some old shows, and one of his favorites to watch, and I always enjoyed it, was WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
right. It's a classic. I've even watched some episodes by myself. It's a freaking amazing show.
When I was a kid, I watched WKRP in Cincinnati.
It's hilarious. Obviously, because of the times, wouldn't fly in today's society. Wouldn't fly in this century.
No.
But if you can be more accustomed to the 70s, it's a fucking hilarious show. But there's one bit in particular that he always brought up, apart from, obviously, as God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. as one of his all-time favorite moments. He quoted that incessantly. But he also always loved to quote, and I can't remember which character it is. I want to say it was Herb. Guy walks into the booth one day, and he sees, again, I think it's Herb, pouring one bottle of scotch into another bottle of scotch. He goes, What are you doing? He goes, aging scotch, and that's it.
Oh my god, that is fucking hilarious.
It's timeless humor like that is what made the show so fucking good. Like, yeah, there was that very much in the decade kind of humor, but there was always also just like timeless jokes like that. It's just
I mean
so fucking good.
The same can be said about a lot of shows that I enjoyed that lots of people enjoyed. I mean, from All in the Family to shit. Oh wow, I just had 4 like right off the top of my fucking head. Just Shoot Me. That show was hilarious, but it would not fly. Friends,
David Spade.
I mean, a lot of other people that really made that show sail. It definitely wasn't. He was just a character as far as I was concerned. I didn't think he was the star. I mean, he was the main character, but Jack, and who was the old man, and then the bald guy, and I can't remember what the hell his name, but he was like that. The photographer, those were the funniest fucking people. They made the show.
Yeah, let's face it.
But
David Spade is never the main character. Even if he's like the top billing, he's not the main character. He's never the big star.
And I watched his late night show, Lights Out with David Spade.
Yeah,
and I mean, it was a funny show. It was kind of a spin off of At Midnight.
Okay.
Just had comedians come on and make fun of shit on YouTube.
Right.
Roast each other just a little bit. But it was like he would sit there and do a short monologue every episode, but I don't know if he was trying to or not, but he sure as hell seemed like he really didn't want to be there.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I mean, I did reach out and say, hey, I missed your show now that it's off the air. Think it went down because of COVID.
Oh yeah.
It went down because of COVID.
That sucks.
He liked it, but then he went on to do a game show called Snake Oil. Yeah. And we got After Midnight, so I am fine. I just want to watch funny people make fun of videos on the internet like I do.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Nobody will watch me do it, so it's on.
You never know. You got to try. You never know. Maybe there's a market for it.
Maybe there is a market for it. Who knows?
You bastard.
Suppose there's only one way to find out.
All right, but on to the news that I was going to mention.
We do have comic book news. That's right.
So announced today by himself, the writer. Joining him on this book is artist Jordi Belair. Or no, colorist Jordi Belair. And artist Tom Riley. Joshua Williamson has announced the ongoing G.I. Joe book. Brandon fucking called it.
Yes, he did.
He did. He posted it on, well, at least the one that Brandon showed me. He shared it on Instagram with an image of the wraparound cover for issue number 1 by Tom Riley and Jordi Belair, and quite honestly, it looks freaking amazing. As Joshua Williamson called it, the kick-ass wraparound cover, and I agree, it is very much a kick-ass cover. You have the Joes on one side with Cobra and Mars and various other villains on the left side, which would be at the back cover. And it just looks amazing. And for eagle-eyed people, you can see that all the characters are standing amongst the bodies of various Transformers. Some notable ones that we can see: Optimus Prime and Soundwave, which sparked my imagination going haywire and thinking, okay, this is definitely leading towards some kind of crossover about a war between the Joes and the Transformers, which would be dope as hell.
It would be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. The
Joes would not last very long.
No.
It would be pretty fucking fast.
I even put out a whole freaking pitch to Brandon when he showed me that. I won't say it here because if you are reading it, if you're reading, catching up to the various G.I. Joe miniseries, there are some mild spoilers involved, so I will not do that right now. I know, Josh, are you still trying to get through them, or are you not? Or have you done it?
Oh no, I'm not anywhere near on it. Whereas my issue 3, I'm gonna start issue 3 of Transformers.
Of Transformers. Oh, okay.
Dude, like I'm gonna do it, but it's just it's I promise you I'm gonna do it, but it's just I've got to prepare myself to push through 12 issues altogether or 10 issues altogether of Joshua Williamson.
I will, and I've said before, I'll tell you right now, his story for Duke and Cobra Commander is nothing like anything he did in DC. It's a very different feel. And
his
the
indie
style
that I've read
different.
is a different feel. So I'm hoping it's just, well.
And it might read better if you read it in release order. So like Duke spinning out of Transformers, you might get a better vibe for it. And then Cobra Commander spinning out of that, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. So just kind of like fracture it as necessary as I'm reading.
Yeah, like I don't know if I think Nathan only does the DC books. I was going to say hit up Nathan and see if he's got a reading order.
Nah, there'll be one on the internet somewhere.
Yeah. So Duke and Cobra Commander for at least a little bit were releasing concurrently.
Okay.
Just like Scarlet and Destro are currently releasing at the same time. I completely forgot Scarlet had come out. It was weird.
Anyway. I've got to mute some stuff here because Discord is going crazy right now.
Yeah. Between the Pokemon server we're on and Kirk responding to my thing about G Gundam.
Yeah, and I'm like on 40 servers.
I culled my servers down quite a few.
Well, I keep an eye on my kids' internet activities, so they're not allowed to be a part of a server unless I'm also a part of a server.
Okay.
And then I've got, I like to play around with games to mod them and stuff. So I'm a part of a lot of those communities as well.
Yeah.
Blink, blink. Okay. All right. So we got any other news?
Well, I was going to show it off with Brandon here, but a couple things I picked up over the past little bit. If you'll indulge me, I'll show off some stuff. So, oh, just a sec, I got a Pidgeotto.
Oh man, I am gonna mail you some WD-40.
I gotta get
some. Chair sounds like it's like asking for air.
Yeah.
Help me.
Moisturize me.
It's a lubrication.
You haven't seen Doctor Who, have you?
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who. Oh, okay.
Some. And actually the older stuff.
Right.
I've always wanted to watch What's His Face. Wow. Not what's Tennant. David Tennant.
Tennant, yeah, he's good stuff. I will honestly recommend watching the new stuff, all the stuff that's on Netflix, because it spins off of a lot of David Tennant's and then leads into the new guy, Ncuti Gatwa, and he's fucking fantastic.
Sweet. It's good to know.
Yeah. Okay. I got First volume of Poison Ivy of the current series. Love it. You know we rave about this book all the time. I definitely recommend picking this straight up. I don't know when exactly it came out, but I found it on my bookstore. I picked it up. Also got a story I never read. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Shattered Grid, Story of Draken, taking over the multiverse, and the Morphin.
Oh yeah,
fucking, it's a thick ass book. It's an awesome story. And finally, first volume of Danny Warren Johnson's Transformers.
Ooh, you said you were gonna get that.
I was so happy.
It was gonna happen.
And coincidentally, on a local marketplace app called Carrot, I found someone in the city selling the complete series of OG G1 Transformers for $30 fucking. So I now have the entire series of Transformers in my hand. The complete original series. Something like 32 DVDs or something like that. 98 episodes and 4 seasons. I'm so excited to get into this because I never watched all of the original series.
Seriously?
Yeah. I never actually finished it.
Holy shit, dude. I've seen it all more than once actually. And
yeah. Keep in mind, my first Transformers was Beast Wars.
Yeah.
That was my intro. I knew about Transformers because my older cousins had a lot of original Transformers toys.
Uh-huh.
So when I go over to my aunt and uncles and they were there and they'd show me we playing with their Transformers, oh, this is fucking cool. And then Beast Wars came out. I didn't even fathom for a second that it was connected until I realized later that it is. And it was just awesome. So, yeah. I mean, I wasn't really playing much when I was a kid. I was born in 1990. The series ended in 86, 87?
Yes.
The original?
Yes.
So,
ish. Or 80.
Yeah. I know the movie was 1986. And the TV show debuted in 1984. I can tell you that.
Oh, then I think it ended in 86 because I think it only lasted 2 seasons, right?
4 seasons.
Oh, well, then it ended in 88.
It was 98 episodes. I think it said 4 seasons. Yeah, seasons 3 and 4. But it looks like 3 and 4 are much shorter because we have... First season has 2 DVDs. Season 2 has 4 DVDs. And seasons 3 and 4 are shared on 2 DVDs.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
$30. That's a fucking steal, bud.
Oh, yeah.
Especially since it's retailing for $90. I love sharing cheap finds.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Everybody's all for coupons.
Josh.
That's a hell of a coupon.
Josh.
It's not a coupon. Shut up.
Josh.
Shut up.
Josh.
And I think now is time for a commercial. You have any more news, Rob?
Yeah, this just came across my desk. It's called a coupon.
Whatever.
Not a
All
coupon.
right, I'm going to take a pause here for our Spotify listeners that happen around at a later date, and we will be right back. Okay, we're back.
Hey! I might need to plug my phone in soon. Only 32%. So, I think we should jump into the books. What do you think?
I don't see why not.
Right,
Maybe it's time for us to stop clowning around.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you want to run down the honorable mentions first, though? That was a great transition, but we have other things to talk about first.
Penguin I didn't get to, and I mean that's for obvious reasons. Primer is a want to read, and Zatanna Bring Down the House, Power Girl number 10, and Batman the Brave and the Bold were all good 7 to 8.25 on each of those 3. Power Girl just I continue to enjoy it, man. And this is the first time I can ever say that I have been a fan continuously of an anthology book that was like outside of old ass magazines.
Yeah.
I mean, like released by DC anthology book. You've been doing this shit with me for what now? 73 years? And you know I'm not a fan of anthology books, generally DC especially. And this one is holy shit, they did it right. It's good stuff, man.
I really need to like dig down on this because I've been putting it on the back burner for the longest time, and the more issues come out, the bigger it gets, and I'm just like, this is a lot. I need to catch up somehow because it looks really good. I keep hearing nothing but good things about it. All right, well, like you said, let's stop clowning around.
Indeed.
Talk about Harley Quinn, number 41. Out of the way, bird boy. For our live stream viewers right now, Josh will be putting up the cover in a moment, and I gotta say, it's a hella good cover. I love this cover.
I completely forgot all about sharing the covers. Give me just one moment.
No worries. It's one of the rare occasions that the cover actually corresponds to what's going on in the issue.
Yes.
To a certain degree.
And there's another reason why I like it too.
Well, yeah, it's also an homage to the first appearance, I think, of Tim Drake as Robin. If I'm not mistaken.
You know what? I didn't even pick that up. All I picked up was I'm getting some modern BTOS vibes off of it.
I mean, it fits the time period as well because that's let me pull up.
It's written like it's done like look at the lettering, look at the bat symbol. That's all Nightfall kind of shit. So, wow. And I just realized that. I just now realized that that's all like Nightfall shit. Yeah. And Harley has to, well, you'll tell us about that. But wow, does it really connect? Holy shit.
Yeah. Let's see. First appearance.
Not the way you're expecting either.
Tim Drake. I mean, okay, so it does look a lot like that. That's not the one I have in my mind.
What are you talking about?
So I guess it is that one. Okay. But I don't remember him ever wearing that costume. So I don't fucking know. Yeah, it's a lonely place of living.
With yourself.
I know. Yeah, it's a lonely place of living, part 3. Batman number 442. If you look at that cover, you'll see exactly how much of an homage it is. It is fucking fantastic.
Should be able to see it right there. I forgot to move us over.
And it was December 1989. So it was even before Nightfall.
Well, that's not the right way. Hard. What the literal shit? Where'd it go?
Ah. Yeah. It's just a fantastic looking cover. While Josh works on that, I will get into the story.
The screen used to put us on the other side. I don't know what the hell happened.
All right, so this is written by Tini Howard with art and colors by Sweeney Boo, letters from Steve Wands, and the cover you see before you, also by Sweeney Boo. So we pick up where Harley is in jail. She's being interrogated by the officer, detective, I don't remember what her rank is, but the high-ranking officer that arrested her, and is giving her quite the rundown, even like full-on punches and whatnot. This is police brutality at its worst, but let's, like, at the same time, Harley's a dangerous criminal, so. I ain't getting into that. This officer's a little violent.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sucks.
Yeah. Like what's his face from Law and Order? Likes to get a little physical. Just a little physical.
Statler?
Yes, that's his name.
Yeah. Yeah, but he was awesome. he may like to get a little physical, but like he's awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
This is Colts.
I just have the name Waldorf screaming in my head because I can't hear Statler without thinking Waldorf, and it's just like it's just going in my head until I say it. I needed to say it.
Waldorf. There, done.
Statler and Waldorf. Yeah. All right, so she's in jail. The cop is interrogating her and goes on to a story about why she really hates Harley and that her daughter was grew up watching Harley and the rest of the Gotham City Sirens committing crimes and looking all happy and joyful and was really inspired and like in love with Harley and ended up stealing a whole bunch of stuff, got arrested, and then got sent to juvie. Well, not even just juvie. She was 16 and committed a felony in Gotham, so she was tried like an adult, sent straight to prison. So this cop has a major hate on for Harley, but despite that, offers a deal. She will let Harley go as long as Harley promises to wear a wire, continue to be bugged, and spy on the Bat family and get them to trip up and reveal their identities so the police can go after them. At that point, and only that point, will Harley be free to go. Harley reluctantly agrees because she doesn't really have much of a choice in the matter, and she heads back home after, keep in mind, teaching a class after having no sleep throughout the entire night because she was arrested overnight. So she goes and teaches a class, then heads home, talks to Ivy, slyly lets her know through some very much Looney Tunes type signs that she's bugged and just play along and don't give away anything incriminating. So Ivy understands, and that will most likely be a plot point for the future. Harley then has to go onto her first mission after a bit of sleep because she desperately needed it, and finds Robin, Tim Drake, first. They have a little bit of a scuffle, and Harley does the same thing with Robin with the very large comical signs with a lot of writing that just changes constantly, that she is bugged and is being forced to work with the cops. The pair
it's
then,
like a whiteboard, and she's super quick at writing.
Yeah. she clearly gets her supplies from the Acme Corporation. I mean, where else does she hide that hammer? It's just behind her back. Right, so the two now have to work together because an alarm goes off. Actually, no, sorry, I was mistaken. The alarm was just her trying to cover up the sound. They do work together, though, because Harley reveals to Robin that she wasn't really working for Mr. Freeze. She was just trying to help out the two people that he wanted her to train, and that she was also double-crossed by Mr. Freeze. So now she is going to help Robin find a way into the ice scraper and figure out how to stop all of this. They don't get very far with it, though, but Robin was able to get some very precious readings from the ice scraper, and that inside is way too cold. Their lungs would basically freeze within seconds. So with that, Harley does ask to help out because she wants her own personal vendetta satisfied. Robin reluctantly agrees about that, but he can't just tell Batman because she doesn't want, things to escalate there with her bug, etc., etc. Just all sorts of stuff. They'll be working together later on. In the meantime, Robin is going to do what he can to get the supplies needed to infiltrate the ice scraper. Harley then makes one stop back in the prisons, but I think it's just holding cells. to see Maxie Zeus, drops him off some baklava, and also a little note to tell him that she is bugged and to not say anything incriminating at all, especially about what they're talking about, and also to eat the note that she packed in. So it is hidden away. Then the same officer that arrested Harley at first was able to see everything on cameras, comes in, knocks out Maxie using a sedative, and is able to find the note. That's where the issue ends for now. Short little backup, Harley Quinn in the Cave. This is written by Gretchen Felker Martin with art from Danny and colors from Trish Mulvihill, letters from Hassan Osmane Al-Hau. Harley is once again having another dream where she's on the grounds of Wayne Manor and being hunted by a rather large vampire bat. Generally looks like a normal bat, but this bat is actually wanting to suck her blood. That's why I call it a vampire, because then they get tossed down the well into the caves underneath the manor, and she finds another bat sucking on Ivy's neck, drinking her blood. Harley is able to dispatch of all of the bats using obviously a hammer she found and a stalactite that she breaks off and stakes the bat. Finds Ivy, and then some nightmare fuel happens. Ivy's hair begins to slowly make its way down Harley's throat and suffocate her, and then she wakes up and they cuddle, and it's a nice little ending. And that was fucking weird, but such a dream sequence. It really was. Right. Really good issue, really good art. I am not disliking this run at all still. Excuse me. Need to get some water. Progressing the story quite along is interesting, how it's going so far. And having this little, not exactly crossover, I guess team up is what I should call it, with Tim Drake was really fun. I'm just curious to see where they're going to go with this story. How does this end? Does Harley just gather her data and leave? Like this is an interesting side to a Harley story I don't think we've ever seen, and we've been seeing that a lot recently. I really like it. It's cool. This is getting an 8.75 out of 10. It's well, Josh.
Man, Harley just can't catch a break as somebody who's trying to be a teacher and a counselor to criminals. Trying to keep it on the up and up, and the man is trying to bring her down, man. No, seriously though, I think it's an interesting next layer to Harley's adventures. How many more issues do we have before Howard leaves the book?
I don't remember. I don't think it was specifically said.
Okay.
But it might not be till the fall.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So there's no telling where this is going to go. I mean, this entire run has proved that, but it's been very good. Even after she does leave, I hope Juan stick around. I like the way Juan does his lettering, man. You know, most people will write super small letters for a whisper. Instead, he does like the lighter font to show it. That makes it way easier for me to read. The art's always awesome from Boo, and I mean, I guess really all I can say is the story's solid and the rest is just great. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for me. The backup, by the way, is just another weird dream from Harley. It's not the best one we've read, but that's all these backups are. So, I mean, they're more like a little bonus story rather than the backup, if that makes sense. But the whole thing, 8 out of 10.
Fair enough. Right on. That's what I do now. Okay, so the hell's next? I mean, that was it's a bit of a mystery. what the hell's going to happen Irely next. Right? Wouldn't you say, Josh?
I would. It may even take a detective to solve. Give me 1 second here.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. Written by Ram V, art Stefano Raffaele, colors Lee Lowridge, letters Ariana Marr, and an Evan Cagle cover. I always mess his last name up every single stinking time.
Cagle.
Anyway, Batman has shown up to talk to Two-Face, well, to Harvey, and he gets Harvey back using the asthma antidote that he developed because he needs Harvey and maybe also Two-Face for his plan to save Gotham. The Joker has a bit of a plan too, as he was prompted to develop prior by Selina, and that's to bring Duella Dent back to her crazy waves via a microwave and an exploded cat, and gives her a creepy-ass Leatherface mask to wear to boot. Next, we see Batman visiting the Ten-Eyed Man, which I'm glad he's been sticking around in the background of Gotham. He gives him a bunch of data, asks him to see the pattern because he's not able to. Ten and Batman figure out that they'll be using Scarecrow because of fear. Batman, Cassie, Nightwing, and Azrael go out to fight the new threat of monsters and somebody being called Shadow Angel, and Duella decides that the Joker was right. The backup was written by Alex Pecknadel with art from Lissandro Esterin, colors from Patricio Del Peche, and letters from Steve Wands. It's basically just a very mob-like story with Two-Face running his mob and dealing with a snitch. Harvey is still in there, and we have a real Two-Face again. He's not totally taken over by the bad side. He's not One-Face. It ends up with Two-Face saying that they are going to war. So the shit is about to hit the fan in Gotham with some of the Bat fam back together. Something like this, I would expect it would need the whole family, but, you know, we'll see what happens. I've been into the story for a long ass time. It's been good so far. I've got faith that it's going to stay good. This one was. And Raffaele's art is exactly what I want here. It's just a damn good read. I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Hell yeah, I do as well. It's been quite the story, quite the tale. It's just gone on really long for me. And I know we're getting close to the end. I think there's only 3 issues left in this story and Romby's run. I'm not a fan of, and I think I've said this before, a few arcs now, just really, really, really long-winded story arcs like this, where the entire run is just one long ongoing story arc. It's been a fantastic story. It's just hard to keep track of everything and stay into it for so long. It's hard. It really is hard. Yeah, but that's just me. Still 8.5 out of 10 because it is, as I've said, an amazing fucking story.
I happen to agree with you.
Yeah. One thing's for sure, though, it looks like the next issue is going to be full of action.
It does. And, well, it is. There's a lot of action to be had in that very next issue.
Of Detective Comics.
Of Detective Comics.
Yes. And also in our next book.
Agreed.
I'm just fucking with you at this point.
It don't matter.
All right. This is, for crying out loud, the browser on my phone, every time I tab, like minimize it, and I go back into it, it just reloads, and then just start all over again. Stupid thing. I gotta find the fucking credits page again. This is Action Comics number 1066. This is House of Brainiac Part 5. And I will get the credits to you as soon as I get to the bloody page. But it is written by Joshua Williamson, with art from Rafa Sandoval and Miguel Mendoza, colors from Alejandro Sanchez, and letters from Dave Sharp, with a beautiful cover from Rafa Sandoval.
And Sanchez.
And Josh, you still have Harley on screen, just so you know.
Huh?
Harley is still on screen.
Oh, damn it.
No worries. Okay, so this is House of Brainiac Part 5, picking up where we left off. Last issue, Brainiac has decimated the remainder of the Zarnian race. Superman was left to bear witness to that and is not fucking happy, obviously. But Brainiac is now monologuing about all this and what he needs to power his Brainiac Queen, his greatest creation. But then in pops Lobo, who frees Superman, and together they take the fight straight to the Brainiac Queen and Brainiac. But Brainiac is able to, make a bit of a hastily retreat, if you will, leaving Lobo and Superman to just fight Brainiac Queen themselves. Meanwhile, Brainiac heads over to, I wish I could remember her name, Lexa's daughter. What's her name?
Lena.
Wow. Duh. Because every female Luthor is named Lena.
Yep.
His mother, his sister, his daughter. Why is that? 3 different writers did this shit.
Eventually, we'll all find out that they're all just clones.
Oh, dear God.
I know.
Please no.
Well, I mean, after this issue, and, well, never mind. Continue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he finds Lena and frees her, but then instantly assimilates her into the ship because as he monologues some more, that he needed her and she was basically built or modified to do exactly this and be an extra power source for the Brainiac Queen. But of course, this process will kill her. Brainiac don't care, though. He's emotionless. Right? Foreshadowing. So, meanwhile, other super fam people have shown up to help fight the Brainiac Queen. But Clark has realized that Brainiac has Lena, and he sends Connor to go do what he can to take out Brainiac and save Lena. And this is when Connor starts to think a bit more about the chain and the chain's own tactile telekinesis and what that could mean for him, and realizing that using the field around him, field of energy, the stuff that is basically touching that field of energy, he can extend it outwards, and his tactile telekinesis can now be used on things outside of his own reach, much like the chain was able to. Essentially just making it normal telekinesis, but who's counting? And this just lays waste to a good part of the ship, much to Brainiac's surprise and his chagrin, screaming out, "You fool!" This also erases the power sources and disconnects all the people and cities from the Brainiac Queen, who then reverts to normal size and a base form. Because, like Frieza, she had gone through 2 transformations.
No, like Frieza.
She hadn't even reached her final form. Maybe next story arc. Who knows?
We shall see.
It takes 3 chapters, let's face it. Okay, that's enough Dragon Ball vamping. So now Brainiac is pissed off because Brainiac Queen is kind of out of commission for now. And Brainiac and Superman just start duking it the fuck out, both physically and verbally. Physically. Really, Rob? Physically. And verbally.
Same thing, why not?
Same
Close
thing.
enough.
Yeah. Brainiac is getting a bit of the upper hand, though, but this is when Viril Dox shows up, along with many other Coluans, including his own mother, who do somewhat talk Brainiac down, but then more Superfam people show up to Clark, and together They go and head off while Vril and Lae'zel talk to Brainiac and try to talk him down and calm him down and stop all this nonsense. The super family go off and save as many of the bottle cities as they can because the ship is falling apart. However, there's too many and not enough for everyone, not enough people to carry them all. But then Luthor shows up along with Kara. Clark obviously is pissed off at Lex for lying to him about Brainiac, but as he admits, he was afraid of what Brainiac could do to Lena, so he didn't want to even mention Brainiac and get him involved. The mere mention of his name on Earth might be enough to summon him there. I'd say it's an understandable fear. He's doing it all for his daughter. But that's besides the point. After spending some time during this adventure working with Brainiac, he was able to build a back door into the whole power system, the whole computer system of the ship, while he was helping program a whole bunch of stuff for the Brainiac Queen's arrival. And knowing that only one person can do this, he wears some kind of weird-ass Brainiac-shaped helmet, which is honestly kind of cool, but why does Brainiac have a helmet shaped like that? He's fucking weird. So he's going to connect himself into the Master Brainwave and take control of Brainiac's entire network. Even Superman is saying you can't do this, but Lex is determined to save his daughter. And upon those words, Superman reluctantly agrees to let him. So then all the Kaluans who are now under the control of Brainiac, including Girl Docs, appear in that room and take the fight to the Kryptonians as well as Lobo. And now it's one big brouhaha between aliens while Lex is trying to connect himself into the network. And in the small backup, we do see that he is able to do that. We see various memories of his daughter and a brief retelling of all the story that happened with Lena in the past with Brainiac and why she ended up with Brainiac and how she became. He does find her, and we see the heart that Lex truly has, as he did everything he could to save his daughter and help her, and even sent her away to hide her from Brainiac. But now it's too late. Brainiac has her. They get found by a Brainiac construct. They do what they can to fight, but are being ripped away in the virtual world. And this one, we see them together on the table as Lex reaches out for her hand. And it's just honestly a nice little thing. That was brought to us by Joshua Williamson, writing from Laura Braga, colors from Prasad. Fucking font is weird.
Pressy.
Yeah, Pressy. And letters from Dave Sharp, because I can't tell if that's a D or an O. I think it's Prasad Rao. But basically Pressy, as it says in parentheses there.
Pressy.
Yeah, so that was Action Comics. That is to be continued in Superman number 15, which coincidentally is our next book. Now, I pose a question to you, Josh. Do we want to review them individually, or do we want to review them as a whole story? Because they do make one big fucking story.
You know what? I'm open to either. What would you prefer?
I'm honestly thinking about it right now. I think it might make more sense just to jump into Superman. And then, because it's not like it's two separate stories, it's like we're reviewing part 5 and then we're reviewing part 6 right after. It's kind of awkward, right?
Fucking awkward, bud.
Yeah, so I say let's jump right into that if you do decide that's a good idea as well.
You know what? I don't see why not. Let's whip up that cover for Superman real quick.
I will say for the backup, though, for this issue, since we won't be talking about that later, it was really touching. I liked it. It was really nice. The art was cool. And I love a nice side of Lex. I love seeing Lex with a heart. I'm tired of mad scientist Lex. It was nice.
He's just been evil businessman Lex for a long time. Mm-hmm. Evil scientist Lex hasn't been around in a long time, I would say.
Yeah.
He's just a very rich, corrupt businessman.
Yeah.
Well. So let's fly on over to Superman number 15, written also by Joshua Williamson. Art inside and out by Rafa Sandoval, with colors by Sorry. Art inside and out by Rafa Sandoval with Alejandro Sanchez's colors. Christ, I can't even talk when it's written down.
The creative team is the same. I don't think.
And lettering by Ariana Mar.
Okay, never mind.
We're back with Lex and Lena fighting against the digital Brainiacs while they're strapped to the table connected to the Brainiac Queen. We're in the same fight as we were in Action Comics, and Brainiac is mind controlling his family, which seemed pretty obvious. That's what he was up to in Action Comics when he was like, yes, we can be back together again. Boo-ha-ha. Clark, Kara, and Lobo are fighting everything until the rest of the fam shows up. They abandon trying to save any of the cities that Superman told them to because there were just too many. So they came back to help. Jesus. Meanwhile, in Digital Land, somehow the AI in the ship is only able to make so many digital Brainiacs inside of an AI construct that it is in charge of. Lex and Lena defeat them all, and Lex is basically just going to delete Brainiac's brain hard drive. It's starting to work. Brainiac loses his control over everything, and we're told that now the ship is going to implode. That's after last issue when it was falling apart. And here in the panel where we're told that it's going to implode, we see it already exploding. Lobo uses a shrink ray to shrink the shrunken cities and everybody but Clark, who says he's gonna. Everybody but Clark leaves, who says he's gonna go have a talk with Brainiac. He comes back just in time to see Brainiac's family telling him to take a flying leap off a cliff. Brainiac's intelligence is draining and it gets all the way down to 1%. He convinced Clark to save Kolu. He turns the Brainiac Queen back on. The team doesn't see any escape being made from the ship as it explodes again. But there was one holding the Queen. Lobo and the Coluans work together to make a planet out of the cities. Superman and Lobo give each other knuckle pounds for being last sons. Lois and Clark make out, and Lex has total amnesia. The next page flip shows us Doomsday's hand still punching that wall in hell that Power Girl and Bloodwind set up as to be a prison for him. Wow. So,
but that final page, as much as I'm not like super thrilled to see another Doomsday story, because I feel like where can they go with it? That page I thought was a really cool homage.
Homage to what?
The first page of Death of Superman.
The first page of what?
The Death of Superman.
Oh.
Let me pull out my copy.
I mean, when we left Doomsday in hell, he was just sitting there continuously punching that wall.
Yeah, but I mean, like the actual. Oh my god. Yeah, that actual page is an homage to this page.
I completely missed it. And I've read that issue many, many times.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like the way the fist is hitting it, and the Krang, and then it finishes off with the wall. I guess not the very first page. It's at least one of the pages, because you see a crack in the wall begin to form, which does happen throughout the first 4 pages. And then he breaks through it in the 4th page. Yeah. But that was an homage that I thought that was really cool. But I'm still not thrilled about Doomsday, because he's been done. I feel like the last time Doomsday was interesting was when he returned in New 52, because they did do something a little different with him. But since then, just like, is it worth it? Do we really
we'll
need to
see? This whole Doomsday and Hell thing could be worth something.
I mean,
I wish there was a way to find out.
they're putting literal sense to the name Doomsday. Like now he's coming out of hell. He's bringing Doomsday to Earth with demons.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to see. I think that's coming in the fall, in autumn. So we'll have to see where it goes, where it goes there. But for now, I'm just like, yeah, fucking Doomsday again. All right. All right, whatever. Yeah, but for the actual House of Brainiac, I did rather enjoy the story. I thought it was really cool. The art throughout was beautiful. I loved seeing that little kind of, as Lois put it, frenemy, but also kind of bro moment at the end with, Superman and Lobo. Because they are the last sons, and Lobo isn't always a bad guy. He's just a dick. So, yeah, that was really cool to see. I really liked that little moments. But even Clark's like, next time I see you, let's face it, it's going to be a fight. It always is. At least until Lobo has a beard and calms down a wee bit. But the biggest thing to come out of this for me, there's two things to come out of it for me. One is Vril Dox has now made an artificial planet somewhere in the universe with all these cities all together. And I can't help but feel like that's going to show up at some point in one of the cosmic books that are out right now.
Well,
between Green Lantern stories, Sinister Sons, and Kneel Before Zod, and God knows what else is coming. I think that's a hint towards you, me, and Brandon were talking about it over the past week. A new Legion book.
Possibly. We'll have to see.
Cool.
I mean, it's there. It doesn't mean it will ever get picked up again. I'm not particularly a fan of it because it's like you got a bunch of lost cities. How the fuck did you turn that into a planet? But, I mean, whatever.
I think honestly, like, it sounds familiar. I feel like it's been done before and I just forgot about it. But at the same time, like, there's been a few times in the past, like, decade where they've just had, like, a surge of planets appear in a dark corner of the universe that was empty, and now the Green Lantern Corps has to take care of these planets. It's happened fucking twice. And you know how many times it's been brought up since then? Zero.
Zero?
Zero.
A total of zero.
They had those planets spinning out of no justice that, yes, they had Justice League Odyssey do a whole thing on, and it lasted for a while, but I haven't finished that, so I don't know how it ended. As far as I know, those planets are still out there. And then at the end of Jeffrey Thorne's Green Lantern, all these planets from the Omniverse, or Hyper Time, or whatever it was, show up, and they're never going to get brought up again. There's all these brand new fucking planets in the universe. And nobody seems to know about it. So I'm tired of that happening and it never being mentioned again. Like there's a lot of potential there.
It's just
why are we
happening?
Like, that's why I don't want this to just be left alone, because there's a lot of potential here. These are a lot of civilizations where the planets have been wiped out, and now they have to learn to coexist as their own civilization of refugees, right? Like,
wait.
And that's where Legion comes in. It's being led by Vril Dox right there.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm holding on.
Are you aware of any Green Lanterns that may have experience in bringing a vast and varied amount of cultures and societies together against their will, pretty much making peace?
I have to think about this.
I'll give you a clue. The sector is nowhere close.
Nowhere close to what?
Here. Or anywhere else.
Huh?
Far sector with Joe Moline.
Oh, yeah, but she's a 2814 Lantern through and through. Like,
that don't mean she wouldn't be put on duty over there.
That would be fucking cool. That would be
I
cool.
mean, she's the one that's got the experience to do that. I'd be down with that for sure.
Yeah, just after the events of Fire Sector, I don't know that she'd ever want to take that assignment on ever again. She nearly died in that series twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was only
She's
like
just
4 species.
Gung ho
This is
and take
like
charge
400.
as hell is.
Yeah. It would be really cool if she was like the Green Lantern of this techno planet. But I think it would be really cool to like start that off with Vril Docs reinstating Legion. But like you don't even have to call it the Legion as the team. Like this planet can be called Legion. It's Planet Legion because it's a group
That's a
of
really
various,
good idea.
Yeah, it's all these different species coming together into one thing, much like the Legion of Superheroes in the 31st century. They are Legion. I think it would be really cool to like spin it off of here. But I really hope it gets picked up because DC's actually doing stuff with their cosmic line, and I'm happy. I want more. But the other thing that really enticed me in this issue was the end, when Luthor reveals he's just a shell. He has no memory. Like I thought, oh my god, that was a twist. Like he was deleting Brainiac's knowledge and being connected to the Master Brainwave. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. He's deleting his own knowledge, and now his knowledge is gone. His knowledge of himself that he's amassed over the years. He's just a person. And that's fucking wild. What that means for Luthor going forward remains to be seen because now we're going to get interrupted by absolute power. But I'm stoked to see what's going to happen to Luthor because, as I've said before, he's one of my favorite characters. As a villain, he's one of my favorite villains. So that's a fucking twist for me. Like that, if we're talking new directions for Lex Luthor, that's a goddamn new direction. Yeah. As for the rest with House of Brainiac, just through and through, it realistically, at the end of the day, was a carrier to get Brainiac Queen into absolute power, I would say. Because the rest of the story was, honestly, as much as it was a multi-part, big-ass crossover, it's just a simple Brainiac story. It wasn't, like, a huge amount of stakes. Like, he's done this before. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was interesting. I like how it ended up. But as for like House of Brainiac as a whole, I did enjoy the story. It's kind of just mid. It's not bad. It's not fantastic. It's mid. But this issue, considering how it all ended up and the big twists that I really rather enjoyed, for Superman number 15, I will give 8.75. For Action Comics, I will give an 8. But for House of Brainiac as a whole, I'll give, we'll say 7.5.
All right. So, action.
Yeah, if you want to take that, sorry, I really got to run to the freaking washroom.
Okay. So Action Comics, everybody gets free because Lobo survived the Zarnian attack. Cool. They're all dead, even though they're immortal. She ate them, but they're all whole with no pieces missing. So I guess the Brainiac Queen is some sort of soul vampire or some shit. Not really sure there. This book, it gets better and better and better at making me not want to read this title. I mean, that's where I'm at with it. It's full of cheesy action, shit that comes out of nowhere. It's like plot lines are being drawn like cards from Super Fight. I gave this one a 4 out of 10 because of the really good art. The backup, I don't know. It wasn't really a backup. It was just a change in artist. It was a continuation of the story that was going on in the first one. I mean, that's not really that big of a deal. And then, so I gave that one a 4 out of 10. As far as Superman goes, I feel like everything was kind of forecasted that we came into in this book. Like by a lot. The whole ship was falling apart last issue. Ship is imploding, ship is exploding, and then it explodes again. Thing was quite a bit. Brainiac developing these weird ass emotions at the last second, being okay with sending out his greatest creation with a empty slate, knowing what could possibly happen with it. None of that I'm a fan of. This one's got good art, but not great in some places, not as good as the last issue. I pretty much shared my opinion on all of it already. After all of this Williamson, I need to take my brain out and give it a nice, hot, long bath in disinfectant. 3.5 out of 10 for Superman. And Rob, I gave Action Comics a 4.
Well then. I will say the emotion thing I thought was a nice touch.
I didn't like it.
Because it was... Have you never wondered, because this has always been something that's on my mind, have you ever wondered about why Brainiac as a Coluan always seemed so cold and emotionless, where every other Coluan that we see has feelings? Like,
he's been a data collector. I mean, the more, and he's
more
just
knowledge
decided to make. He's just decided to make everything about logic, like Spock, but with no human companions to give him an up close and personal reason to consider emotion.
Yeah. But like I like that aspect where you take away all of his knowledge, all of his basically the thing that was he was all just logic and facts and knowledge. You take that all away, and all he's left with is the base emotions of a being. I thought that was interesting. But that was me.
Yeah, right before he dies.
I mean,
which, of course, won't stick around.
Yeah, like he's not dead. He's DC's Ultron. There's a Brainiac clone somewhere.
His entire memory, his entire network he was detached from his entire network, and then his memory was wiped. I mean, that should kill Brainiac, but it won't, because nothing Williamson does in DC.
Hang on. It wasn't it was the ship. So, like, as far as we know, and honestly, we're speculating in the future.
He was in the Brainiac. They were in the Brainiac Collective, which was on the ship.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
The Brainiac Collective, like they were uploaded into it and they destroyed it.
So he's dead.
That's. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be that he was down to 1%. We never actually saw it hit 0, or it's just it. I mean, it'll be something silly and it'll be brought back.
Yeah,
we all know that.
Yeah, that's how comics go. Somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, I had a clone somewhere on some frozen planet that you never knew about."
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Whatever you say, man.
That's in our intro. Death is a revolving door.
Indeed it is.
All right.
It truly is. All right. Well, you know what, man? I'm going to say Joshua Williamson is not my cup of tea, but he sure tries. Do you want to give the next book a shot?
I mean, I'll fucking make that target. What? Let's see what you did there. Yeah, no, this is Green Arrow number 13, Lucky number 13. countdown to absolute power, but as far as I'm concerned, absolute power is here. Where the fuck is the credits page? Jesus Christ. People, put your credits at the beginning of the issue.
Do you want them?
I have
Written
them.
by Joshua
I have them.
Williamson.
I have them. Jeez, yeah. It's written by Joshua Williamson with art from Amake Nahuelpan, colors from Romulo Fajardo Jr., and letters from Troy Pateri, with the cover you see before you from Phil Hester, Andy Parks, and Ryan Cody. I'm always going to say it. Put your credits at the beginning of the issue because it's a pet peeve of mine.
I'm not familiar with who Ryan Cody is, but is it just me, or this feels almost like Phil Hester drawing some BTAS type of animation, like his version of that. This, I don't know.
I can see
it's not quite it feels more cartoony than his typical art.
I'm gonna because I think Phil Hester typically does everything himself, but in this, coloring and inking is somebody else. So there's two other people. So maybe it's just because of the coloring
and the characterizations in the back. I mean, the what's his face, the
I mean, we
robot,
have Oliver.
Waller. They both
Waller
look kind of BTAS
faceless people. Yeah, like Ollie is very much Phil Hester here, but Waller looks really.
I think even the coloring lends a kind of.
Well, that's what I mean. The coloring is probably what it is that gives you that vibe, because I do get very Phil Hester vibes here. But like, what's really striking me for what you're saying with BTAS is those faceless minions in the background. They look very animated series inspired.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
very, very much so. Little pieces from the whole cover.
Yeah, they definitely don't look like that in this issue, though. They look a little more threatening. So we open up on Arrow Island. Ollie wakes up in the middle of the night and takes one last look at his family, enjoying themselves, grab his bow and arrow, and takes off after giving Dinah a sweet little kiss. Dinah wakes up and goes to look for Ollie, but nobody around has seen him. And I was wondering where the hell he is. 48 hours later, he's at the Hall of Justice to join up with the... I guess it's the Hall of Order. I keep forgetting that. Yeah. To join up with Waller. And his first mission is to investigate a break-in at Belle Reve. This is Belle Reve North, somewhere in the... I'm going to assume Rocky Mountains. It's a snowy mountain range somewhere. Where Roy and Leanne... Huh?
I said safe bet.
Yeah. Roy and Leanne in costume as Cheshire Cat and nearly called him Speedy Arsenal are breaking in, and they are there to retrieve Cheshire, Jade Nguyen herself, Roy's one-time lover, and Leanne's mother. And now together, the three of them as a family make their escape after taking out some guards. Roy has a rope set up for them to make their escape. Cheshire and Cheshire Cat, I'll say, go down first as Roy watches the door, but then is found by Oliver in full gear as an agent, but with his bow and arrow. And they have a little discussion back and forth of what the fuck it is Oliver's doing here, and says, we'll get you some help. Let's go talk to people. We can help you. And then Oliver kicks him out of the window, says, I don't need your help. Peacemaker is watching the whole thing, but then realizes that Roy was saved by Cheshire, and then realizes that Oliver let him escape. But Oliver just plays it off, says, look, my emotions got the better of me. Won't let that happen again. But we all know he really was just saving Roy. So then Roy takes this information back to the Arrow family, where they are trying to figure out what the hell it is that Oliver's up to, even though Roy does say that a lot of what he was saying sounded like he truly believed it. But at that point, breaking news comes across our screens, or their screen, their TV, as we see Superman falling out of the sky, which we've seen in a lot of the previews for Absolute Power recently.
Yes.
And as I can't quite tell who that is, So remember what Roy said, Oliver isn't Green Arrow anymore. And from off panel, we see somebody say, if my father rejects his title, then I will be Green Arrow. As we see Connor Hawke in full Green Arrow costume, a brand new version. He's got a hood, and it looks fucking badass. And Brandon and I did have a little bit of geek out earlier this week. He sent me that page asking if I want to spoil it. I was like, of course I do. just tell me. He sends me that page, and I'm like, oh my god, yes. So we have another Green Arrow. I'm so happy. Connor Hawke is back in costume. He's in the hood.
Is it we have another
Green
Green Arrow, or we still have a Green Arrow?
I mean, he wasn't going by Green Arrow since his return. He was just going by Hawk, right? But now that he's in the costume and his father has rejected the title of Green Arrow.
Yeah, now he's going to be.
Now he's going to be Green Arrow again.
I feel like Connor was the Damien of the Arrow family.
Sorry?
And I said Connor was just basically the Damien of the Arrow family and got called his real name out in combat. Like, everybody talks shit about Dick Grayson have to dress in bright colors, but they just out there name dropping.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck this kid.
Yeah. I mean, he never really had any other code name besides Green Arrow, but since he came back, they
call him Connor.
Yeah. Like, there was already a Green Arrow, and he never really felt the need to. He only ever picked up the title initially in the 90s after his father died.
Yep.
So I guess after returning, knowing his father was still going around as Green Arrow, he didn't really feel a need to call himself Green Arrow until now that his father has rejected the title, and he will once again pick it up. Which
because
I think
the world needs a Green Arrow.
Oh, yes, we do. Oh, yes, we do. It's a very quick issue. Not a lot of dialogue here. Very much your first shot into absolute power as far as Green Arrow goes. This is going to have a lot of ramifications on the story, I'd imagine, going forward. I mean, in Absolute Power, for example. I love the art throughout. I'm really hyped about the last page. I knew going into this that if Brandon was going to be here, that was going to be his favorite moment. But since he's not here, I'm going to steal it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well within your rights, sir.
Yeah. There's not much to talk about in terms of the story here. It's because it is a very quick story. But it's basically Ollie turning to the dark side and pretending to be a double agent, technically. He's doing what he has to because he must.
Whatever.
He's GLaDOS.
Ollie found out that Waller's chili was better than his.
So he's infiltrated Argus to get the
like,
recipe and destroy it.
If you can't beat them, you have to join them.
Oh, man, no. Ollie's going undercover just to steal that recipe.
Nah, that's why he said he believes in her. There's a chili hierarchy, and Ollie is respected.
Never. He knows this chili is the best. Yeah, so I'm going to give this, quite honestly, I rather enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay. First, not a big thing, but I just want to point out, let's ditch this joint. That's something Leanne says. I mean, that's how we talked when I was a kid. Are kids saying that kind of stuff again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious. But past that, I feel like not much really did happen in this story.
That was a very quick issue.
It was a really quick issue. And other than like the whole story has been, let's get the family back together. No. Things are going to stay the same. It's a good thing that we haven't seen the Arrow family fight themselves lately, too, by the Oh shit! Wait, never mind. Get ready for phoned in issues. Williamson is leaving the book. He always does that when he leaves the book. This one it felt that way anyway. Big props to Noelpen Fajardo Jr. They delivered excellent art throughout the whole issue. I don't know. I really love the art. I guess I'll give it a 4 out of 10 because once again, here we are getting back to square one of the story. How wonderful.
I mean, we knew this was coming, though. Are you really surprised?
No, which is why I've hated this thing since the get-go.
Yeah.
Grrr.
I blame Absolute Power. I'm not
Sure.
hyped about this summer event,
We'll get there.
but I am more interested in it than I was. What was the one last year with the dreams, nightmares?
I think it was Nightmares. Yeah.
But it wasn't called Nightmares.
Are you sure?
Night Terrors.
Night Terrors. That's
yeah.
what it was. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. I'm more interested in Absolute Power than I was Night Terrors. Because at least it's not canceling half the fucking line for 2
Right.
months.
It's just tying them all up into one storyline for 2.
Yeah. Which,
And all written by the same
at-
person. So
at
if you're
this-
not a fan of Mark Waid's style, fuck you for the summer. Fuck you.
it's not what's happening, is it?
Mark Waid is writing all of Absolute Power, homie.
I mean, he's writing like Absolute Power, but he's not like writing Green
I
Arrow
could've
for the next
swore-
2 months.
I could have swore that Brandon said that he was writing every issue of Absolute Power, something like 28 issues or some shit.
I gotta take a look at this. Because
I've been under that.
for
assumption
example,
that-
like Batman 150 is a Absolute Power tie-in, but that's still being written by Chip Zdarsky.
okay, good.
Yeah. So like the ongoing titles that are Absolute Power tie-ins, those are still being done by the respective creative teams. Like Green Arrow is still going to be written by Williamson for the duration of Absolute Power, for example.
Oh, great. That's so much better. But all right, okay. At least they're all not taking a shit. Good deal.
Like I think it was like 28 total issues of like specifically just Absolute Power titled. Like there's the main series, and then there's like a side story, and then there's like mini series, but they're all like Absolute Power, quote unquote, like, and then subtitles and whatnot. But like ongoings are still done by the respective creative teams. That is a lot of Absolute Power, and it's a fucking lot. So like there is the upside, at least with this, the ongoing stories, even though there will be Absolute Power tie-ins, the ongoing books, some of them will only be kind of tied into it, as we'll see in our next book.
The next book. Yeah, all right. So we're almost done with the show, and Absolute Power Ground Zero is right after this one. So I'm going to try and speed through this one as quickly as possible. We are at The Flash, number 10, written by Cy Spurrier, art Roman Perez, and Vasco Georgiev, colors by Matt Herms, lettered by Hassan Atsmani El-Hau, with the cover from Perez as well. While Wally is suffering from severe CRS syndrome, Barry is still fighting Batman in the Justice Buster suit, except it's not Batman or the Justice Buster suit. Waller reverse engineered it, and inside is none other than one Oliver Queen, formerly Green Arrow. Over with Pilgrim, Pied Piper, and Jay. Jay calls something Wally told him and realizes reality is messed up, and that's why it looks like the speedsters are causing the damage. The math looks right because reality is wrong. Barry and Ollie continue to fight, and Wally has the upper hand until Ollie severs his tie to the Speed Force via magic Waller Juju. back with the timey-wimeys, and Jay explains what's up with basically God is having a seizure, the Speed Force has gone loopy, reality is falling apart, and someone's trying to blame it all on his dad. Jay, however, knows how to straighten the problem and straighten things out, namely reality. Finally, Wally bests the Oliver in the suit by calling in the rest of the Flash family. They mess the suit up, and Ollie auto-ejects from the seat. He's wearing a mask, so they never see his identity. Back to Wally, who the Archangels are... Back to Wally, who the Archangels are preparing to use as their avatar, and we find out that their plan is to murder time itself. This is really something else. Things trying into... God dang it. Things tying into the rest of the main lines during current continuity kind of makes this feel less together. This was very, very, very tied up. There was a lot of shit that was going on, and now it feels like it's kind of loosened a little bit, if that makes any sense. Kind of not quite falling apart, but potential. No. It's obviously tied to what's going to happen in Absolute Power, but how it's going to be tied, we don't know. Hopefully, it's loosely like Rob had said. The art is really good in here, as are the colors. I dig it. It has a bit of an older feel, and I'm still with it. The story remains good. 8.25 out of 10.
Yeah, so this issue was just an example of how the ongoing stories can still happen while still being tied into Absolute Power. But the tie into Absolute Power here, I thought was really dumb. I get Waller's trying to like capture heroes, take them off the playing field, but your first option to send after one of the most veteran speedsters on the planet is a guy in a bow and arrow using a Batman mobile suit.
It's Justice Buster designed to take out the Justice League.
But also at the same time, not listening to any of the advice from your expert who's been a hero and has been friends with these people for so many years, saying, Waller, this isn't going to work. He knows how to beat this thing. And she's like, I don't want to listen to your sass. Like, oh my God. Like, he's trying to help you, woman. That is so freaking dumb.
So dumb.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Fucking figure it out.
Yeah, Waller, fucking figure it out. So
I figured out
that I could have done without all of that. That was pointless.
Truly.
It was stupid. But oddly enough, I didn't mind the rest of it this month, because I feel like the story kind of progressed a little bit. I was going to call him Shepherd. Adult version of Baby Wade. I don't remember what he was calling himself now.
Pilgrim,
that's it. Thank you. Kind of finally got a few answers and realized the speedsters are not the fucking problem. But we're still not quite there yet to the point where the heroes know exactly what's going on. All the villains were like, oh, well, we're found out. But like, no, they don't know who's doing it. They just know it's not the Archangels. But apparently the Archangels still have something to do with it. We just don't know what, because now they're talking to Wally. I'm so fucking confused. I'm lost. I don't know what the hell's happening anymore. There's so many parts of the story that don't make any sense.
What parts of the story aren't making sense for you?
They're saying the Archangels don't have anything to do with what's going on with the speedsters, but then at the same time, the Archangels are saying, yeah, there's something going on with the Speed Force, and we're doing it. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, they're not saying that to Pilgrim. Pilgrim was led to believe that they're there to stop the speedsters because the speedsters are what's doing it. And he believed them because he saw it in the fucking way that the math worked in the universe, blah, 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 universal math. And then Jay was able to see that somebody had kind of like, you know how he described it, kind of like some letters together a little
He was
bit
able to read the math,
to
See it
make
from a
the
different
math
perspective.
look that good.
Yeah.
To make the math work. So he undid that. He told Pilgrim that they lied. That not there wasn't any thing else going on that side. And over on the Archangels, all they've tried to do is take Wally away, erase his memory, make him a conduit or an avatar, and use him to, we find out this issue, erase all of time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, but that did not help. That just made it more confusing. Why are they erasing time? What is happening?
They're bored.
On?
Don't you remember the monologues from before? They have experienced literally everything except death. So the only way for them to experience death, obviously, is to erase time. Without time, nothing can exist.
And what are the villains doing? Why are they fucking with shit? Are they working with the Archangels? Because apparently they're not. So why are they doing this shit?
We'll find out.
It just doesn't. None of this makes
Cy Spurrier does
sense.
not typically leave shit in the wind.
I know, but so far, what is this, issue 10?
Yeah.
We've gone nowhere. 10 issues. We've gone nowhere.
Oh, see, no, I don't think so. I think it's been reading like a really cool sci-fi book with superheroes.
Sci-fi, yes. Superheroes, yes. Cool at times.
And like,
good? I don't know. We'll have to see.
I think so anyway.
But the art was interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
What
did you give it?
The part with baby Wade being changed by adult Wade was interesting.
Really weird, right?
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite moment.
Yeah.
When Jay was like, "You're changing his your own diaper. Isn't that like going to cause a paradox or something?"
Yeah.
That was spoiler alert. That's my favorite moment of the week.
Yeah, like that's
it was
gotta cause some kind of existentialism. Like, yeah. Like, what the fuck did I eat today? Jesus. Yeah, honestly, fuck, man. I don't know. I'm giving it like 5, like 4.5, maybe 4.75. 4.75. I can't wait to get a new writer. I don't hate Cy Spurrier in general. I'm just not liking his Flash run. This is
not how you want to read.
Stressful.
I told you it was going to be an intense ride. I warned you.
It's not even about Wally anymore because he was barely in this issue. The rest of everybody but Wally was really here. Wally was there for like 2 pages.
Wally is there getting ready to be turned into the fucking weapon of mass destruction.
See, I didn't even get that vibe because I thought we were past all that.
No, they're going to use Wally to destroy time.
This is so stupid. And it's like there's like it's not even for any reason. Oh, we're bored. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. I could go on. I'm gonna stop. What did you give it?
I gave it an 8.25.
8.25. Okay.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's not your style of book.
Normally, it is.
Do you like Cy Spurrier's Hellblazer? Have you read that?
I don't remember. I read one Hellblazer, but I don't remember who wrote it.
You should
like,
check that.
like in the past 10 years. Kind of Hellblazer.
That he's written.
Yeah, I know I've read other stuff by Cy Spurrier, and I've enjoyed that in the past. It's just this doesn't work with the Flash.
To each of their own, I guess. There's no need to fight. There's no need to throw bombs.
I'm not trying to fight.
No need to have a ground zero. It's just different opinions, man.
You had to go there. All right, it's absolute power ground zero. He said the word. Say its name and it appears.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in.
Nicole Maines.
Yes, I do. So this is going to be an interesting one because this is three
somewhat
stories?
like a three
Somewhat
of
of an
them. Somewhat
anthology.
like a exactly.
But it's all being told through the perspective of Waller and Dreamer.
Yeah,
talking.
if you want to take parts 1 and parts 3, I'll take
I
part
could do
2.
the whole thing because they're so short.
That's
So stage 1. So basically, the issue opens. I imagine this part is being written by Mark Waid. It's Dreamer,
Nicole
and
Maines and
Waller. Well, stage 1 is Nicole Maines, but this first page, I mean, is written by Mark Waid. It's Waller and Dreamer having a little talking session about what's going on, and then going into various precognitive visions the Dreamer will have and what's going to be happening next with her next mission. Enter stage 1, written by Nicole Maines and Mark Waid, with art from Skylar Patridge, colors from Patricio Del Pesce, letters from Steve Wands, and the cover of the entire issue by Dan Mora.
it looks good. Oh, whoops! I forgot to change it.
Yeah, we've
I
seen
forgot to change it for the Flash.
3 covers this entire show.
Oh, I've changed them. I just forgot to change it for the Flash.
Yeah. Right. So this follows Jay Nakamura on the run on the island nation of Gamora, his home, on the run from various agents shooting at him, soldiers shooting at him. He's phasing through all sorts of stuff, including their bullets. But then we see Deadeye, in a nearby tree. That's a Flash. Deadeye being a, let's face it, he's a Deadshot analog, but a little bit cooler. Knows exactly where to hit Jay Nakamura, because if Jay is phasing through things, the one thing he is not supposed to phase through is the earth, so his feet have to touch solid ground, so his feet have to be solid, and Deadeye knows that, shoots him in the foot, takes him down, and then Dreamer arrives. Jay thinks he's saved because one of his heroes is here. He knows Dreamer, they've worked together, they're friends, but then Dreamer holds him down with her own dream energy, pleads with Deadeye to not make her do this, don't make me hurt him, but then they are left to fight. Dreamer's able to knock him out, and then later on in the brig of the USS Collins, Jay, now behind bars, has a little discussion with Dreamer about what's going on, and Dreamer tries to plead with him, saying that Waller has my family, and Jade wants nothing to do with it because Waller killed his mother, and then she has to leave him alone. He will never forgive her, understandably so. Dreamer is now struggling with everything going on. End stage 1, enter stage 2. This is written by Chip Zdarsky and Mark Waid, with art from V. Ken Marion. Really cool artist, I gotta say. I really like V. Ken Marion's art. Colors from Patricio Del Pesce again, and letters from Steve Wands yet again. This spins out of, which I didn't realize, an issue of Batman Brave and the Bold. This follows John Starr, aka Time Commander, brought back to life by Amanda Waller to join the Suicide Squad, so to speak.
Using his technology, which controls time.
Yes. Oh no, it wasn't. Oh shit, it wasn't Brave and the Bold. It was Urban Legends number 23. So I got to go back even further. Yeah, so she brings him back with the express purpose of using his hourglass and his technology since it's able to reverse time and even bring him back to life, to use that to revitalize a robot. And that robot is none other than Failsafe, complete with Zur-En-Arr in tow. Because as we saw at the end of the whole story arc with Zur-En-Arr, didn't end well for him. He's basically out of commission. She gives Anthony, does it Anthony Starr? John Starr.
John Star. I'm
Fuck,
sorry.
Anthony Starr.
I'm not sure.
Wait, isn't that the actor that plays Homelander?
I'm not sure.
Oh, shit. Okay. John Starr, Time Commander. She gives him the rundown of who this is and basically says, get to work. He is able to rework his hourglass in mere hours, but keeps it going for about 5 days because he knows Amanda Waller. He's heard of her. He pretends he doesn't, but he plays along for now, and tries to make escape. He asks the soldier outside his quarters that he needs to go and get a few more tools, and with that, they go to the armory depository where all the various supplies are. And Time Commander does what he can to take out the guard, grabs one more piece of tech to attach to this device on his wrist, which will allow him to travel through time. And just as he's able to do that, as more guards show up and open fire on him, he travels through time, but not to the place where he wanted to go, which was Arizona 1312. Instead, he is trapped in a glass cell 5 days prior, as he sees a live feed before him of himself talking with Amanda Waller, where he first laid eyes on Failsafe. As Amanda Waller reveals that she has dealt with time travelers before, and says like there's no escape. This place is built in with dampening fields for chronal. Is finely tuned with chronal router, she says, throughout this entire base. So if you try to travel through time at all, you'll just end up here in this cell, and at this period of time. So clear, like it was weirdly phrased, here and now. So if he tried it again, he would appear twice at the same time.
I mean,
that's kind of weird. That's
yes.
kind of dumb. But yeah, with that, he then goes and fixes Failsafe, and then with Failsafe back in tow, she then says, now that you've got us to work on robots, we need 6 more just like it. That ends stage 2. And now enter stage 3. This is written by Joshua Williamson with art and colors from Gleb Melnikov and letters from Steve Wands. This spins directly out of House of Brainiac, as we see the Brainiac ship implode, explode, go big boom, whatever. We see a lone ship rocket away from it, very much reminiscent of, Krypton and Superman.
Yeah.
What a coincidence. This little rocket crash lands in the Arctic Circle, I can imagine, because they're surrounded by snow, where Amanda Waller and various soldiers of her own team have intercepted it. Failsafe is with them, and they find that it's Brainiac Queen within the ship. They take her. Brainiac Queen is a current shell, not much of a mind or personality to speak of whatsoever. So now, with Failsafe's help and his own technology, Amanda Waller connects herself into the Brainiac Queen's mind, and spends veritably about 60 years worth of life and time just on a farm somewhere, just the two of them raising the Brainiac Queen from basically little girl into a full-grown adult. The whole
Clark
time,
Kent style.
Yeah, very much Clark Kent style. The whole time, that was 20 years. That's 60 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Way over numbered there. The whole time, various heroes showing up, trying to take her out, and Waller just putting it in her mind that these heroes are the bad guys, and they will try to take you away and take away your power and take away your home and take away everything you love dear, including me, your dear old stepmother. And after that, Amanda Waller is taken out of the simulation. After it was only 20 hours. It was 1 year per hour, which was a lot on Waller's mind, but it was well worth it because now Brainiac Queen is fully prepared and on her side with a full mind and even calling her mother. And that's
Right.
ends the stage and ends the issue. The war begins in Absolute Power #1, and then that leads us into the Absolute Power #1 preview, which we've seen over the past month. Superman getting shot and bleeding and falling out of the sky. That is your first look into Absolute Power. We'll have to see how it goes. Like I said, I'm a little more interested in this than I have been the past couple of summer event titles. I'm tired of Amanda Waller.
So tired of Amanda Waller.
I think this is kind of like
I'll tell you,
done. I'm already done with it. I haven't even started. Failsafe and Brainiac Queen are an interesting little thing, but Amanda Waller, I'm just kind of done with. The premise is interesting though, like actually taking the powers away from the heroes, but at that point, you're basically writing yourself into a box. Like, how the fuck are they going to beat this thing? But if I'm talking about this issue specifically, before we get into anything else, first story with Nicole Maines, very heartfelt, very touching. I rather enjoyed it. The second story with from Chip Zdarsky, I don't have anything to go on for Time Commander because I didn't read that part of Urban Legends, but character seems interesting enough.
I don't remember that coming up in Urban Legends. I'm not sure what you're referring to. The last thing that I remember was he was killed back in 2006.
I mean, they
do you remember 52? That 52? Weekly series.
Yeah, I remember 52.
He was killed then.
He was killed because it says in the text box here, Star died in Batman Urban Legends #23.
Weird.
So
he died twice.
Commander, period.
So
I mean, the universe is reset 3 times.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, I mean, regardless, he died.
He died
at some point in this timeline, and a device that can be used to control time around him has sometime or not control time around him. Control time has somehow been used to, without altering it, turn back somebody from dying. The whole premise of this is really weak to me.
Yeah. I don't have anything to go on, so I can't really comment to that.
I mean, regardless, I mean, that's what is, whenever he died or whatever, it's his device is just a device that controls time.
Yeah.
Like Thawne with the Tachyons, like Weather Wizard with his staff. He's got a tool that does that shit. It's never ever been used. I mean, that's all it can do. Yeah. And I don't understand why it would all of a sudden be able to bring people back from the dead. And then she brings him back to the dead to ask him why it can't bring, because she knew it would bring him back to the dead. That's what she was trying to use it on Failsafe for. And she brought him back from the dead to help her figure out why it wasn't quite working on Failsafe.
Right.
That feels very fucked up. In the beginning, in stage 1, Jay gets shot in the fucking ankle and then gets up and walks around like nothing happened. That's a negative Ghost Rider. And in stage 3, I mean, this was probably the easiest one to swallow for me, because getting a blank slate super powered thing on your side that you can indoctrinate, that sounds just like Waller. But again, I'm really sick of Waller. I'm sick of Waller as a character.
Yeah.
Like by and large, my friend. So altogether, I mean, the first one was like iffy, and I mean, I guess it kept Dreamer in the story, but it certainly didn't seem like it was even necessary to be there. The second one doesn't make any sense to me at all. And the third one is the best one, and it's a iffy story featuring a character I can't stand. I did like the art throughout all of it. I thought it was really good. I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10.
Right on. Yeah, I'm just looking up Urban Legends number 23. Time Commander is in a story called The Murder Club. It was a 4-part story.
Weird. Was he brought back to life in it? Or
Well,
I guess
supposedly he died in it. It was written by Joey Esposito with pencils and inks from Vasco Georgiev. I don't know. I'd have to go and read it. Has something to do with Bruce's parents being pulled through time or something like that.
Fun times.
And he was some kind of antagonist, because one of the synopses is Batman has to defeat the Time Commander. Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't have anything to go with on the Time Commander story, but I do think he's a cool character, and I really like V. Ken Marion's art, so that was interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, the last story was kind of just there.
Waller.
It was interesting enough to bring Brainiac Queen to life, essentially. That might have been the most interesting story of the bunch, realistically. But all of this
because
that's set up for the dark trilogy, the dark trio, if you will.
If I mean, she knows Clark's true identity, right? So she knows how he.
Wait, does she though? Because
how else would she have given? I mean, that was the Kansas farm home.
Yeah.
So she just randomly picked Clark Kent's home to raise a superhero, a superpower.
I mean, maybe she does.
Yeah. So she took how Superman was raised to be so dedicated to his true cause of helping people and fed that to that Brainiac Queen. So, and then Failsafe out of nowhere is just absolutely under Waller's command. There was no arrogance about him whatsoever this time.
I don't get that.
I don't. There's a lot of shit that don't make sense to me. Some shit that just comes out of nowhere. I mean, the more I talk about this, the lower I'm going to want to score it, because I already want to drop it to a 5.
Yeah. I mean, so far the Brainiac Queen is the only thing that kind of makes sense to be on Waller's side, because Failsafe makes no fucking sense. The way Chip Zdarsky wrote Zur and Failsafe, yeah, I don't get that at all.
It's got a cool cover though.
It does have a really cool cover, and I'm still enjoying any story that Nicole Maines is writing with Dreamer. So there's that. I for the whole issue, I'll give it like a 6.5, maybe 7.
Yeah.
7.5, because I really like the Ken Marion's art. Yeah,
you
so
are perpetually a bright sider, my friend.
I try to be.
Nothing wrong with that, I suppose.
There's just so much negativity in the world. Why would I bring more? Apart from talking about the Flash and Wonder Woman. Apart from
good
that.
point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
like Monty Python once said, always look on the bright side of life. Yeah. All right, so with that, shall we do our top 3 and favorite moment of the week, which we both already said what they are, so I guess just top 3.
Absolutely. All right, well, my top 3 is Harley number 8, or Harley 41. With an 8, excuse me. Flash with an 8.25, and Detective Comics at an 8.5. Those are my top three. And like my second place, because I mean, that was a funny moment. It wasn't hilarious. So I kind of picked two. The Bat family dropping down out of the sky in that like single page splash.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking cool in Detective Comics. That was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. That was really cool. For me, number 3, I'll have Superman number 15 because those twists at the end really got me excited for what's going to come. Number 2, I got Harley Quinn number 41, and number 1, I got Green Arrow number 13. Excuse me, my favorite moments, realistically, is the last page of Green Arrow number 13, seeing Connor Hawke back in a Green Arrow costume for real. But equally as much, if we're going to give off 2 favorite moments, will be the last page, well, the second last page of Superman number 13 or 15, where we get the twist reveal that Lex has lost his memories. That still blows my mind.
It seems absolutely silly, but
I mean, like,
well,
comics are all silly, but like, it's an interesting new change for the character that I don't think has been explored before.
yeah, let's explore it because it's gonna. I mean, anyway. All right. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Rob, thank you very much for being here. Do you have any idea how much it would suck to be sitting here talking to myself after over 200 episodes?
And we've all done it at least once.
Not for over 200 episodes.
Well, not for 200 episodes. Your mouth would be super dry.
Oh, boy. But thank you, everybody. We will be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same Geek Times, same Geek Channel. And that is the show. We're getting out of here, so you have to as well. Be careful out there. And remember, in the Geek Matrix, everyone has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.
Peace.
Peace indeed.